To hell with Brett, you know? I've got a vibrator.
Welcome to Black Irish Podcast. Hey there, and welcome to an all-new episode of Black Irish Podcast with myself, Brendan McCorkle, and come on down, Mike Crawford.
What up, Brendan? How you doing this week, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Nice way to start the show.
Yeah, we're gonna go backwards today. It just seems like a fun thing to do. So, guess what I've been watching lately? The Price is Right, baby. Are you a Price is Right fan?
I used to watch. I don't watch as much anymore. But let me ask you.
Okay.
How did Drew Carey do on the show, man? I haven't really watched him on the show. I used to watch Bob, man. That's how old I am. I gotta stop aging myself on these shit.
Listen, did you used to watch for Bob's Beauties? Come on.
No.
Come on.
No, Bob was just a cool dude, man.
I think Bob had his fingers in a lot of those ladies from what I hear. I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, seems like a sketchy thing, but, you know, dogs are spayed and neutered, so it's all good. I don't know, Drew Carey seemed like he's doing okay. It seems like he's just accepted his role as, I'm going to die as the second Price is Right host, or third, or whatever they're on. But he's just like, yeah, this is going to be my lifetime gig. This is how I roll out into the sunset. So he just kind of like dresses however he wants, comfortable, shaves whenever he feels like it. Nice gig.
I ain't mad at him, man. It's definitely a nice gig, and I'm sure it pays well.
Oh, for sure. And the other thing is they knock out like 5 episodes in a day. So they only have to record for like 3 months out of the year and they're good. It's pretty wild.
That's even better. That makes it an even better job.
Oh, it's the sweetest gig. All he's got to do is change clothes in between. It's awesome. I used to be a Showcase Showdown sniper, though. Sniper. There was 2 separate occasions. One of them I have a witness for. 2 separate occasions where I got both Showcase Showdowns exactly right. And there's been like multiple other times, like 3 or 4 maybe, where I've gotten one exactly right. I used to watch that shit with my grandma all day, every day during summer. That was it. Price is Right.
I'm sure I can get some right now.
I don't know, man. I don't know what things cost anymore. I just buy shit I need, and I'm like, well, that's how much it was.
Well, I do Instacart, so I know how much everything costs.
Oh, that's true. Oh, you know what happened, though? I just watched one episode recently, and this guy, Jean-Paul, you know, they're all kind of half kooks that get up there because you got to be entertaining on television. You know, it's got to be the thrill of your life to be on Price is Right. So this dude, like, ended up winning the wheel thing and then went over and kissed it. I'm like, come on, Covey. What are we doing, Jean-Paul? Like, who kisses anything anymore? Like, inanimate objects. Kobe. Why would you do that?
The will doesn't have Kobe. Why not kiss the will? He just wants some money,
but
man.
He kissed the side where you put your hands.
Oh, no, that's pretty nasty.
That's nasty.
Yeah, I would have just kissed the front of the wheel.
And by the way, they only clean the front of the wheel. They don't clean the fucking sides of it.
Yeah, no, we don't clean that. I would have definitely kissed the front of the wheel, like one of the numbers. I would not have kissed with people's hands, though. That's absolutely disgusting.
No, thank you, dude. But while I
guarantee that guy has Kobe this week.
Oh, probably. I didn't watch to see if he won the Showcase Showdown. It was the first one. I didn't have time. Kids were in the house. But I did see. So Price is Right is on Channel 2. I saw they had commercials for a new sitcom with the tall guy Badger from Breaking Bad. Like, one of the methy guys is in like a rom-com sitcom on CBS now, and it does not look right.
Well, I've never seen Breaking Bad in my life, so there's that. I don't even know who you talk about.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, that one is a good one. That one you got to get. See, I would say you don't even have to get through the first season. I would say you get through the first 2 or 3 episodes And
that's the tough part. Can I just start at episode 4?
No, see, but here's the thing, is while you trudge through those first few episodes, by the end of the first season, you appreciate everything that were in the first few episodes, even though you didn't at the time. So, as somebody who hasn't seen it, if you ever do branch into that, I would say go into it knowing that you're going to appreciate what you're watching later.
Gotcha.
And that's something that Breaking Bad always did.
The Wire starts with someone getting smoked.
Yeah, well, The Wire comes out hot.
Like, shout out to my man, Snot Boogie.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to talk about Swan Song. How far did you get into it?
About 30 minutes. I don't know. It's a weird movie.
It is a weird movie. Honestly, the reason why I wanted to talk to you about it is because I know how you feel about family and all that kind of stuff. And dude, this almost broke my brain. So I can't even imagine. Like, I wasn't sure if you were gonna make it through or not, or if it was gonna be like, nah, this is too weird. I don't like it. Or was it just kind of boring?
I might go back and. It's kind of boring to me.
Yeah.
But I might go back and finish it just to see how it plays out.
So.
But go ahead, tell me how it plays out, and then you gotta watch it.
Well, all right. I won't give too big of stuff away, but some of it. So
if someone wanted to see it, they've seen it already.
Yeah,
it's been out for a while, but
it's been out for like a month.
You ain't gotta worry about being a spoiler.
All right, bro. Well, I will say that Glenn Close and Mahershala Ali are the two main, and then Kick and Wayne, obviously. But those are the two main characters. That's 80% of the movie. Had they not been Glenn Close and Mahershala Ali, this movie would be instantly a C. Like, that would be the ceiling of this movie. Is if the acting wasn't elite level actors, this movie would have a low ceiling. So, that being said, once you get through the initial, like, you know, trying to understand what's going on with this dude. So basically, Mahershala Ali's dying. He's got a family. Nobody knows that he's dying. And there's this program where they build a second version of you, and they can transfer all of your thoughts, memories, everything. So it's basically an identical you that they replace into your life, and you live out on this desolate island area, whatever, out the remaining days by yourself or whoever else is in this program. Okay, so Mahershala Ali would be the third person or fourth person to go into this experiment type thing. So basically the whole entire movie is the struggle of him trying to decide, like, is this a robot? Is this going to take care of my family? Or is this a perfect replacement for me that will live out the end of his days? It doesn't have... So the new version of him has everything the same except for this degenerative disease. Everything else is the same. So he'll still die a normal course of life or whatever. It's not like this thing's going to outlast everybody. It's just a normal body that's been programmed. So it's basically his decision throughout the entire movie whether he's going to go through with it or not. But he can't tell anybody because of, obviously. So it's got to be a secret even to his wife, his kid, like everything. So it's kind of a mindfuck. But at the same time, there are also a few points in the movie that they made very dramatic and, like, key moments that just never paid off. It was just like they were trying to throw you red herrings and stuff, and it's like, why don't you stick to the story? This is kind of deterring from the story here. Like, you don't need to do all this extra stuff. Or like, oh, is there going to be a twist? And then, I don't know. I don't really like that. Like, if you have something captivating, go for it. So, I don't know. It's a really weird movie. I don't think I'd be comfortable in that situation. I don't think I could go through with it. You have to find out if he did. Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know. I might.
But but here's the juxtaposition. Is this thing is technically not human. It could malfunction. And what happens is...
If it malfunctions, okay, cool.
Cool.
But
That's your family.
my family was gonna have to be without me one way or another anyway. So it's not really no difference in
If
loss
it
to them.
malfunctions and like murders your family, this thing is a weird robot-y thing.
Oh well, then in that case, then that's fucked up. But anything barring anything that crazy, like there's no loss, there's no setback for them.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you don't know if it's ever going to malfunction or not. You're trusting this technology.
I am, but either way, I was gonna die. So there's nothing I can do to change that part of it. So my family was either gonna be with no one or extra helping hands that can still help provide and feed my family. Because either way you look at it, I was dying. That part doesn't change.
But they don't know it's not you. They still think it's you.
Exactly. So
Okay.
there is only benefit for them. It's no loss for them because it could be nothing. It can be I stay and when I die, you have no one and nothing, or you have this person when I die
That could
because I'm
possibly
going to be
malfunction
dead.
and cut your head off.
And that is the downside of it, which I don't know how that would. I mean, I didn't watch the movie all the way, so I don't know what they promised and not promised. But like I said, there's really no loss for the family besides something crazy like that happening, because they would either have the no extra hand or an extra hand to help. Like it's no, because either way, I'm dying, or he's dying in this case. Like
I don't know. I think I go the other way just because I have kids, and if something were to malfunction around my kids, I mean my wife too, but you know she's a badass motherfucker. She can stand up for herself. She can kill a robot, but you know I don't know. That part is where I got shook, and I'm like, I can't be letting things around my people.
Yeah, no, and that's the downside of it. I'm just saying, yeah. I mean, I guess that is the downside of it.
But there's also a chance that it's perfectly fine. So I don't know. That's the mind bender. Oh, I did also catch up. I'm not gonna spoiler alert this one because I should have seen it a long time ago. But did finally see King Richard. Have you seen that?
Nope.
It's pretty good. I mean, I already knew the story.
I mean, Will's always going to be good. I knew the story already, so I didn't feel a need to watch the movie. Will's always good. I'm never going to take that away from him. I'm probably going to watch it at some point, but
that's kind of where I came around to.
When you're a sports head like me, you know the story already, so.
Yeah, it was one of those things where, you know, meant to watch it when it came out, and I was like, yeah, same thing. I knew the story. I'll catch it when it comes on. Dad's got a crazy idea, kind of wonky sometimes with money, but produced two of the best athletes in the world. So, okay.
There you go.
What else are you going to do?
It seems to be a running theme. Look at the bald dad.
The bald dad?
A little wonky. The ball's dad, Lonzo.
Oh,
Mello.
the balls. I thought you said the bald dad. I'm like, who's bald?
What's his name? I can't even think of his name right now, but.
Yeah.
A little bit live on the crazy side, but got some money and his kids made it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I don't think it was his plan to have children to earn money. I think he was just like, hey, we have kids, I'm going to train them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was, Mr. Richard was opposite. He's like, no, we have to have children to train them. I was like, okay. Okay.
Yes.
Speaking of hustling, I did also catch American Hustle. Have you seen that? It's been a while. It's been like almost a decade, but American Hustle with Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper.
I might have seen that.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Have seen that.
It's pretty good. I hadn't seen it in a long time.
It's been a while, but I might have seen it.
Oh, that one's such a good one. That one's a good one. Like every 5 years, I couldn't watch it all the time, but I think it's been at least 5 or 6 years since I've seen it. That was a good, like, oh shit, this is on? Cool. Like, just leave it on. You know, it was like, it just so happened to start like 2 minutes before. Like, I turned on the TV. I'm like, beautiful. Just let it run.
That's how I always watch Shawshank.
Yeah. But you don't watch the TBS non-butt rapey version. I know.
Yeah, but I'll catch Shawshank on somewhere like TBS and then go watch it because I saw it on TBS.
Oh, it's like an instant, go find it on demand. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. What do you do in, like, September?
What you mean?
I don't know. There's some... they seem to always run it in September. like every
Oh,
weekend.
man.
I don't know if that's like when it originally was released, so every year they do it for like, I don't know. But I think
Yeah, I
somewhere
don't know.
towards the mid
If
end
I
of the
catch
year.
it, then I end up watching it.
All right. Speaking of, did you catch Ray Donovan? The
The
movie.
movie? No.
All right. All right. Well, we'll
You
have
already
to.
watched it, man?
No, I put it on here because I thought you were gonna watch it. So.
No, I'm not gonna watch it. Yeah, I gotta find some time to relax and chill, man.
All right. All right.
Enjoy it.
Well, considering
Selma.
that one just came out, Selma. Yeah, I watched Selma too. You got a little bit of time before we can review that one. Yeah, I watched Selma too, actually, on MOK Day because I was like, I'd actually never seen it. Again, I knew it got all these.
I ain't never
awards,
seen it either. You ain't gotta feel.
No, I don't feel any way. It's like the King Richard thing. Like again, I know the story. I haven't seen the movie, so I was like, hey, this is on demand. Let me go ahead and fire
There
this
you go.
thing up.
I ain't never seen it, and I ain't planning on watching it. But now that she said, "Yeah, I got some time to review it," I'm gonna watch it. I gotta watch all these movies, man, because you're a movie watching dude.
Honestly, not really. But this week, since my back was all jacked up, it was like if I was immobile, I was throwing on television. Usually, it's on in the background and I'm doing stuff. I haven't been able to move around like usual, so when I sit, I have to sit and rest for a long period of time. So I'll just ka-chunk these movies in like 2-3 segments and move on to the
I
next.
got you. Don't worry, I'm gonna knock them out this weekend. I ain't got shit else to do.
Yeah, buddy. But so Giovanni Ribisi is in Selma. Do you like Giovanni Ribisi?
I don't have no clue who these people are by their real name, right?
I don't know. He's the guy. I always get him mixed up with Phoebe's brother from Friends, or maybe it's the same guy. Do you remember the weirdo brother from Friends?
Slightly, yes.
Yeah, that she had the kids for that guy. I'm having my brother's
Yeah.
babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that guy. I don't even know if it's the same guy, but if it is, that guy's got range. I think it's two different dudes.
So you can Google that.
But I also, by the way, in Selma, Common's in Selma, and I fucking love Common. By the way,
Decent actor.
he's a great actor, dude. He's a great actor.
Great. Let's not go great. Let's keep that decent.
Dude, look at his
Good.
resume.
You want to call him good? If you want to call him good, I won't argue that. But great?
Okay.
There's a difference between being good at something and being great at something.
Okay. Well, I think
levels.
that he
There's
serves his
levels.
purpose as a second-tier star very well. And I think in like Smokin' Aces, when he was like a side character, that's where he shines. That's where it's like, oh, there you go, dude. That was one of his best roles, and it was like just chill.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He's just not great.
All right, fine. I'll give you that. One of my buddies. He was actually one of my other best friends. You know how that works? Like you have your core best friends, and then it's like out of your other group that you hang out with, you have a couple other best friends. So this dude Jarrett looked just like Common, good looking motherfucker. But he was a part of like my buddy who's the linebacker. It's his best friend from his freshman group. So they had this elite freshman like 5. And it just so happened that all those guys hung out at my buddy's house up the street. So obviously we got to be friendly with them and everything. Like they're good friends. But it was like they were the class of the class. Like, why are we fucking playing freshman ball right now? This is bullshit. But they didn't want to go to JV because they're like, we skip JV. We go straight to varsity. You call us when you're ready. And so it was like they had this pot of the good players and all that kind of stuff. And they pulled a couple of them up for playoffs. And then the next year they were starting on varsity like bad dudes. Anyway, I don't even know why I went on that tangent because the guy looked like fucking Common. Oh, but you know what? Oh, you know what we did do was we used to tailgate. My senior year, I set up tailgating at our high school football games on Friday nights.
For real?
Yeah, for real. So it was something that kind of just, naturally kind of came about. It's like my buddies playing football. I'm going to the games. I was also on yearbook, which was really just an excuse to get into the game for free. I never took any pictures. It just hung around my neck. I didn't do shit. I usually just sat in the stands with my friends.
What, you had a Polaroid?
No, it was a fancy camera, digital camera. They're nice too, actually.
How fancy, man? We're kind of old, man.
I don't know. They were Canon digital cameras in the early 2000s in high school. So that was like the one department they invested money in. But so
California, man.
we did tailgates. It was on the up and up for the most part. Like any illicit activities or anything, like the rule was, listen, dude, go do that stuff somewhere else, just in case these assholes want to be pricks and search us. They can't find anything. Go do your stuff somewhere else. Come over here. You know, it's not a big deal. It was like, I think the very first time it was like, okay, we're going to tailgate. We'll cook some carne asada. So my buddy brought a grill. I brought the carne asada. And it was like, you know, our group of like 10, 15 friends or whatever. And then by playoff time, we had parents tailgating in the parking lot. There was like 20 cars tailgating by playoff time. It was fucking rad. And it was like by the third or fourth week, security was cool because they're like, okay, these guys aren't like, they're not messing around. They may seem messed up, but I can't find anything. They're not hurting anybody. Fucking half the people are trying to sneak stuff in anyway. These guys are being cool about it. Let them be. So then it was like we got no static after that. But part of the fun was trying to guess, like, who was messed up, who was pretending to be messed up, and then, like, who was acting normal even though you knew, like, they were doing something or on something. I don't know. It was funny. Those are my people. Those are my people. The people that are just, like, low-key, like, listen, don't worry about what I'm doing, bro. Fucking, you just go chill. I'm gonna be as normal as possible. I don't need anybody looking at me.
That's me, man.
And pretend. That's why we get along so well, Mike. I love you that way. But pretenders, those are lame. Lame.
I know some of those.
The people that would collect like bottle caps or tabs and be like, look at how much I drank. You're like, you just picked all that shit up out of the trash can, you idiot. or the best.
Just act high. All you took was 2 puffs. Like,
yeah,
chill.
see, your guys were getting high. We were getting drunk mainly, but also some of us were getting high. But that, like, the constant, I'm so wasted. You're like, bitch, you had 2 wine coolers and you're 6'3". Shut up. No, you're not. And it's usually just like, that just usually meant I'm about to do something I'm embarrassed to do, so I'm going to pretend like I'm drunk and go for it. Fucking come on. I mean, like, I get it, but come on, dude.
Living life on the edge.
Oh. You know who else tailgates like a motherfucker? The Bills Mafia.
They ain't going to be tailgating this week.
Bills Mafia is insane. You think they're going to throw any dildos this week?
And they might, after they get their ass whooped, they're going to feel like a dildo. I don't know, man. They might not get their ass whooped. They might just lose a close game.
All right, so let's go into playoff predictions here. So we've got the Bills and Chiefs. Since we're on the Bills, let's talk about them. The Chiefs are -2. How do you see that game going?
Which is not good because they usually give you 3 points at home, so they really think the Bills are better.
They do think the Bills are better. I thought that spread was going to be 5.
They think the Bills are better. Well,
it's because the Bills have a better defense. And if you can shut down Tyreek Hill and keep Kelsey in the middle of the field, you got a good shot.
Yeah, well, let me see you do it.
Well, that's the thing. You still got to do it. That's the problem.
I like the Chiefs.
You like the Chiefs? All right. I'm not saying either way. I think it's just going to be a high-scoring game. I do think the Bills will edge them out, even in Arrowhead, but I think it's going to be a close, high-scoring game, to say the least. Then we got Bengals versus the Tennessee Derrick Henrys. So
that's going to be a good game.
That is going to be a good game because Derrick Henry, I mean, I'd bet you dollars to donuts that he's coming back this week. He had light practice.
I mean, he's already been practicing. He's going to play.
Yeah,
he just style makes fights, man. It's going to be the slobber knocker versus the pretty boys. But who do they have to guard Jamar Chick, that is tough. But the Titans defense been good all year, so we're gonna see. It should be a good one.
It's going to be interesting.
I like Tennessee. Man.
Yeah, but the spread's 3.5. I don't like that half point. That bothers me a lot. It bothers me a lot. I think that's going to be the swing of the bet, is a half point.
That is.
Now, I don't know if it's going to be.
That'll make people put their money on the Bengals.
Yeah, it will. I think it's a
Or
sneak.
they'll go money line.
I think that's the sneak play, is because I don't know if a lot of people know this, Mike, but the odds aren't necessarily to make it even who you think's going to win. The odds are to get you to bet a certain way so that the house can make their money.
There you go.
The odds are deceiving. So you have to go with your gut if you know what you're talking about, or just have fun otherwise, because gambling's a losing game for the most part.
It's definitely a losing game.
And then we have the Niners versus the Packers, but before we get into that, I think we need to discuss what happened, how we got here. How did we get to this point, Mike?
My team stinks. What are you talking about? 3 chances to take the lead, 3 chances with the ball, and you don't score none of the time, and you make $75 million. Get out of here! You stink. All of you stink. I don't care how good.
So you're siding with Stephen A.
I don't listen to Stephen A. So I don't know what he said.
I don't listen to Stephen A. either. All I see is him plastered all over every ESPN app, channel, anything, laughing hysterically and wearing a Cowboys hat. And I'm like,
oh yeah, he always loves when we do this.
So you're just full-on gimmick. You just don't give a shit about real sports anymore. You're just full-on gimmick. Good for you, bobblehead. Whatever. Fuck him, dude. I fucking hate him. Only because he pretends to care. If he didn't pretend to care, like he's starting to not to, fine. I don't care. I used to watch Gumby. I like stupid shit. But don't pretend like you care. That's what I hate.
I don't know. I've been stopped listening to him. I'm a Fox guy when it comes to sports shows. I'm not going to lie.
All right. So
I listen to Nick Wright. I listen to Skip and Shannon. Yeah, Nick Wright.
See, I like Skip, but I've always been a Shannon fan, even though I don't listen to him. But I like Shannon Sharp. Who couldn't?
Me and Skip have all the same teams.
That's no good reason to like him.
I love Jordan. He loves the Cowboys. I love the Cowboys. Some of his arguments be total bogus. It's just for TV, man.
Yeah, I know. It's all for TV. It's all for show. So that being said, Niners, Packers. You think Packers are going to smoke them?
I don't think Packers are going to smoke them because it's a run game. They're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
But Garoppolo didn't have the game that I think he's possible of versus us, so it might be versus the Packers. And if he does, you're going to get smoked. But if he doesn't have his Garoppolo game, then you'll be in the game, if not win it, because you can run the ball.
Yeah, I'm worried about Bosa. I'm worried. Like, we got a couple key injuries on defense.
But Bosa was just a concussion, right? He should be back for the game.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if just that one day of playing on Saturday instead of Sunday, I don't know if that one day of playing Saturday instead of Sunday is making that window tighter. Because I don't know if you saw the play. He had 300 pounds of man slam, like the hardest part of him, slam into his neck and head and bend it back. And it's like, ooh, that's going to hurt a little bit. That'll ring your bell. So, I don't know. I just hope that they use Debo and Brandon Ayuk in a lot of jet sweep motions, because that's their killer. That's their killer sauce. And when they do that, even when they're running the ball, when they do that, it's so hard to stop them. So hard to stop. So I really hope that they stick to what was working and don't do what they almost did, like the Niners and Notre Dame always seem to do, and give it away at the end of the game. And it's like, okay, we score a bunch, but we don't keep doing what we're doing. We mix up the game plan for no reason. It's like, what the fuck, bro? It's like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. But our final game, not final game, I think the Bills-Chiefs is the final game, but our other Sunday game is the Rams and Buccaneers, where it's okay to hit players as long as you're winning. I love that Bruce Arians gets fined for smacking a player in the head. Which, by the way, like, how that dude didn't instantly, like, cock his hand like, I'm about to jack your jaw. Like, the amount of respect that coaches demand when they kind of don't deserve it sometimes is like, that's dog shit, bro. I get it, but
I don't get it.
if it was any other person, you'd have been knocked the fuck out.
Definitely.
So, I don't know. That was kind of interesting. But the line on that game is 3. How do you think that's going to go? I think it'll be close, but
I like the Rams.
Yeah, I like the other way. I think Stafford.
With all the injuries, they just had too many injuries. I hate Stafford. Bro.
He just got his first playoff win. That's good enough. See you later.
I think the team around him is going to carry him to the win, though. Like he's not gonna. Like they have a good running game. If he can make this Cooper Cup pass, I think they'll win. Because I think their defense is going to step up to the plate. Like, bro, if you let this Bucs team beat you with that offense, like Jalen should be able to shut down Mike Evans, and the rest of those guys are not even guys.
Yeah.
You got to find somebody to guard Gronk. But outside of that, like,
yeah, but even these days, Gronk's a torso with arms. Like, he can't jump anymore. He can't, like, he's not quick. He's big and strong. Go get it. You know, that's it. That's all they got for him. I don't know. I just see the Bucs somehow outlasting. That's just what they do. And
no, I think it could get ugly. I personally believe that game could get ugly.
Yeah, I see Sean McVay doing his standard lean into his thing and go, motherfucker. He does that like 3 times a game. Like the same move, turns to the left, motherfucker. And then you're like, okay, yeah, it was a bad play. Get a new move. Call a different play.
I think it could get ugly, but we'll see.
We shall see. I mean, I think it would be hilarious if it was like, I mean, I am rooting for Niners Bengals. That would be fucking awesome.
Repeat Super Bowl?
That would be great. And then it's, you know, Joe Burrow, who is kind of growing on me, believe it or not. He's growing on me. I love Jamar Chase. Joe Mixon's been my guy. You know, he's been my fantasy guy for like fucking 4 years in a row or something like that. You know, so I have some, you know, affection for these Bengals, but also...
I think it's going to be Green Bay and Titans.
See, that's probable. And if that happens, I see the Titans winning that game.
I think they're going to win the Super Bowl this year.
They can. Especially with Derrick Henry getting that time off. If they can get through the Bengals with running him not as hard as they absolutely have to, then it's lights out. It's Tennessee's day. But if that doesn't happen, whatever happens with the Bengals. The other one, if my team's not in the mix that I want to see, would be the Bucks and Bills. That would be awesome.
I wouldn't want to see that.
Why?
Because I don't want to see the Bills play against Tom Brady again. He owns them. He's just going to pat them on their ass again and send them one mile their way. He owns the Bills.
I don't know.
Tom Brady owns the Bills.
But these Bills are different, and that Tom Brady team is different.
Let me see the Chiefs Rams, man. If
Chiefs Rams?
Yeah, give me like 100-point Super Bowl. Why not?
No. Hey,
shoot out.
I mean, that would be a hell of an AFC championship game. Bengals and Chiefs. Rams and Packers. That'd be all right. The Packers would smash the Rams, though. But whatever.
You said what?
The Rams would get destroyed by the Packers.
You think?
Yeah. Because they'd have to play in Green Bay.
What that mean?
That means Matty Stafford's been a domer. Have you noticed his away games?
He's played in Green Bay 2 years, every year, his whole career.
Yes.
Twice a year, his whole career, my God.
And how has he done in those games, Michael?
I don't know. I didn't Google it before the show, but
Terrible. He is terrible in cold weather.
he didn't have this loaded squad that
I
he had.
understand that. I understand that.
Who's the running back on those teams? Who's the running back on those teams? Because he got 2 horses.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Some of those years he had Calvin, but some of those years he had no receivers. He got 2 pretty good receivers.
Yeah. I will say it is pretty rad for the boy that you hate, Matty Stafford, to have the top 2 receivers of receiving yards in a season. He's been the quarterback for both of them. Calvin Johnson and Cooper Kupp. That's pretty rad.
Yeah, he puts up a whole bunch of numbers. Can he win the big game? He's won one.
He won my big game. He won my bet. That's all I give a shit about.
I'm going to say he gets number 2. I don't know. I mean, if they make it to the playoff, his first run, well, his second run, because he's been in the playoffs before.
We'll see. So, have you heard about all this Djokovic debauchery?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Dude, it's insane. So, he got deported on Sunday from Australia for no vax card. They're like, no, this is the law. Get the fuck out of here. So, he goes back
Which, after hearing the backstory, they should have done, but go ahead.
Yeah, so he gets deported back to Serbia. Serbia is saying they're not going to press charges even though he committed a crime as far as he should be fined because he was out in public when he knowingly had the virus, blah, blah, blah. So Serbia is like, no, come home. We're going to waive all those fines because we're not in a state of emergency. So it's not a big deal. It's like, okay, way to go. I know you're not very popular, Serbia, but, whatever. So, on top of that, the Australian Tennis Board is suing Djokovic, or in the process of putting together a suit against him for disrupting the Aussie Open and, having to take away all this, all these people to deal with his matter and press and all that stuff, PR, all that stuff. So he might get sued on top of that. Then, on Sunday as well, because Parliament works on the Lord's Day, France just passed a law on Sunday that says you have to have your vaccine card, proof of vaccine, to be in any public places, including sporting events, whether you're a professional or a spectator. So now he got bounced from the Aussie Open. Now he's not going to be able to play in the French Open. He's chasing all the titles to be the best ever.
He's going to go get vaxxed.
And he's now going to go get vaxxed. I guarantee it. Just like the Men's Warehouse. Gonna happen.
Yes, it's going to happen.
So that did get me interested. So the other night I flipped it on and saw Nadal was playing. And look, Nadal's the man, was the man, is kind of still the man. But he's got to let the look go. Let the headband go, bro. Get a hat. Get a hat. He's just, the top of his head is getting just scorched by the sun. He's got his flails around.
Old, man.
And his head, I know, I'm not saying nothing. I mean, it looks kind of funky, but seriously, wear a hat, bro.
We grew up with Nadal, man.
I know, but don't you want a fresh head, not some sunburned peely stuff? I don't know, that's gross. I know you don't get the
you say the same thing about LeBron?
No, because he doesn't peel and he's not playing outside for 4 hours in a row.
Oh, you're more so on the pill, not the fact that it's ball.
Well, yeah, that's the reason, but no, I don't care about his. I'm saying I get that that's his look. Just change your look, bro. Make it work for you.
You can't, man. The power's in the headband, buddy.
Then wear a fucking rag and then cover it with the fucking headband. Do something. I don't know.
He's got another major championship, then maybe.
Oh, man. Well, the last thing, sports related, 2 things actually. I found out that the Toronto Maple Leafs are the oldest original franchise to never win a championship. There have been other franchises that are longer that have transferred from Cleveland to Chicago or from, whatever it was, the Indians or the Red Sox or whoever, not Red Sox, but whoever it was. That was kind of the deal. And the Maple Leafs are the only team that originated and hasn't won a championship yet. That's kind of whack for them.
Well, hopefully they win it this year. Are they good this year?
I don't know, but I just decided that I think I'm going to put $100 on the Maple Leafs every year preseason until they win. It's got to happen, right?
At some point.
At some point. I knew somebody who put 100.
So why don't you do the same thing for the Bengals? Because they ain't won no championship either.
Yeah, but they're not the oldest franchise to not win one in all of sports. So I did know a guy that put $100 on the Rams when the Greatest Show on Turf showed up, and they won that Super Bowl, and it was at 100-to-1 odds preseason. And this dude was just like an electrician. It was like, oh, bank, buy a new car, new used car. But oh, and then on some sad news, Lucia Harris has passed away. Do you know who that is?
No.
Me neither. She was the only woman ever drafted into the NBA. She was drafted by the New Orleans Jazz in 1977, and the only reason she didn't try out for them, she was picked in the 7th round. The only reason why she didn't try out with them was because she was pregnant. So that kind of was the out for her NBA career. But she was, even more impressive accolade, was she was the first woman to ever score a point in the Olympics. That's pretty fucking rad. So
it is. That's amazing, man. She's had a hell of a career. R.I.P. to you.
Yeah, I guess there's so in seeing all this, I guess there's a documentary called The Queen of Basketball that came out last year. So I might have to dig that up and try and check that out, because I didn't know about this lady until she died, which is a shame. That's some cool shit.
I got a few things on my plate already, but I might have to double back on that.
Yeah, that one should be good. So she died because she was just old. You know who else is old? Us. We're old as shit, bro. I saw the other day somebody on Twitter posted, anybody this old, ? And then put a picture of Super Mario 3. I'm like, fuck you, you piece of shit. First of all, it has a 3 in the name. You can't post that as how old you are, you dingbat. You gotta go with the original. No, I'm not talking about the original, like our parents played or whatever. Old people play.
What do you mean?
Like the arcade version where it was kind of like Donkey Kong, where you go up the ladders and go down the ladders.
Ain't no more original than what I played. I played an Atari Nintendo, buddy. Like, I'm that old.
Yeah.
So
no, it's Super Mario Brothers if you're going to tweet it, you dick. Fucking idiot.
I even know how to play that behind you. That's how old I am.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Whee!
And also, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop for you?
2. Just bite the motherfucker.
That's what my son does. My 3-year-old does that. I'm like, you're 3. Don't do that. But he's just like, I like the stickies in my teeth so I can lick it and taste it. And I'm like, that makes sense to me. They haven't fell out of your head yet? So go ahead and waste those ones. We're going to take care of the next pet. We're good.
There you go.
The kid knows what he likes. Did anybody tell you a fallacy about the stupid star on the Tootsie Roll wrapper when you were younger?
No.
What did you think it was for?
What star?
You didn't know there was a star on Tootsie Roll wrappers?
No.
Okay. So back in the day, they used to be very few and far between. And it turns out that if you got this star and you mailed it, I still don't believe this story, but if you got the star and mailed it into Tootsie Pop or took it to like a liquor store or a store, they would give you a Tootsie Pop. Like that was like the golden ticket from Willy Wonka for the Tootsie Pop owl. He was giving out.
Who told you that?
Listen, my parents back in the day told me if you got a star, you got a free Tootsie Pop. And I'm like, here's my star, where's my Tootsie Pop? And they're like, I actually don't know how this process works, but that's what I know. And I'm like, thanks for nothing. My wife told me that this actually happened with her and her dad. I tend to believe that her dad just bought a 5-cent Tootsie Pop and said, here you go, kid. You found a star. I think that white parents just had this lie running through the streets of suburbia talking about these stars are for Tootsie Pops. I don't know. I don't buy it. It was just a stupid, silly thing to look for a Tootsie Pop, and that way they can get you to get the 5-cent thing instead of the dollar thing from the ice cream man. Bunch of hustlers, grifters, crack smoking swindlers is what we called them back in our day. Oh, I don't know. Dude, I've also, speaking of being old, I've started to get solicitation from AARP. Do you know that I don't even know what that is, but I know it's for old people? I don't like it.
AARP is definitely for old people, man.
What is
I didn't
it?
get solicited by them yet. It's like so you can get discounts and stuff.
Well, I'm down. I always like a discount, but...
Yeah, but like old people discounts.
They're just like, man, this guy's
like
body's breaking down. He must be 85 years old. No,
like you get a free McDonald's coffee for being 65 or whatever.
Should I apply for an AARP card just to see what the fuck they say?
They're going to deny you. You're not old enough.
But why are they? They're trying to
get you ready. They're trying to get you ready. Have you read it? Like,
can I also file for Social Security?
Nah, not yet. I mean, actually, you probably could. They'd ask you some additional questions, but yeah,
you
might be able to if you weren't working. Oh. If you weren't working, they definitely help you get some Social Security money, man.
You know what? Some gross old person stuff I had to do. I had to clip a skin tag off my neck with some nail clippers.
That sounds disgusting.
It was disgusting. I wasn't a fan of it, but I was sitting on the couch, and then my 3-year-old's like, hugging me, whatever, and then he starts pulling on my neck. I'm like, hey, what is that? That's not my regular neck. And then sure enough, I go in the bathroom. I'm like, oh, and I like kind of pull it. I'm like, this is gross. I don't know. I don't like it. Cut that motherfucker off. And then I'm like, great. Now I'm going to start spawning them, and then I'm going to be one of those guys with a neck tattoo of fucking skin taggy warts where it looks like you got run over with a weed whacker or some shit. I don't know. Would you ever do plastic surgery?
No.
All right. I think we had this conversation, but not this part. If you had to change one thing on your face, what would it be?
One of my scars. I got plenty, so you can pick. Maybe the one on my lip. Yeah, I'd probably get rid of that.
So the stash can grow and clean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got you. Would you get plastic surgery if you had to leave the United States? Like if you had to... Like, just bump and run, like, grab a bag, slowly get out, quickly get out, however, undercover.
Oh, if I could. If it was that type of situation, I would.
Let's say you stole millions of dollars and you have to get out of the U.S. Would you just try and go to somewhere that doesn't extradite? Or would you, like, full bore, change your look, like nobody's fucking catching me, baby?
I mean, all I did was steal money. I didn't kill anybody. If I ain't kill nobody, I can go.
Okay. In the process of stealing this money from a bank, there were hostages involved.
Now I can run. Now I be trying to run out the country.
You got to run.
But if it's not nothing crazy like that, I'm not going out the country.
Okay, well that's the scenario. Bank heist,
they're gonna be looking for you. Well, they ain't gonna be looking for you there unless you like do multiple. Like if you keep it a low profile, they'll let you be, bro. Promise.
All right.
That's why all these bank robbers and stuff can do so many of them, because the first couple they're not really like, oh, some bank got robbed.
Well, that's not exactly true. I don't know if I've told this story before, but there was when I don't know, maybe I was like 8 or 9, living in Palmdale. This will date me. Chase was not always called Chase. It used to be Washington Mutual. So before Chase was Chase and it was Washington Mutual, there were a house on the corner that had some 4 or 5 dudes living in it. They went up a mile and a half, like didn't go far, a mile and a half to the just standard Washington Mutual, robbed it at gunpoint, went straight back home, and then in 30 minutes there was SWAT team all over our...
I mean, they're clearly going to find you in that type of stuff. What I'm saying is if you go
they should have taken hostages.
No. What I'm saying is if you actually run, like if you don't just speed like somewhere right there locally or somewhere where they can call like run to your aunt's house in a different state. But if you like say I robbed a bank for not even 100,000 would be more than enough, but 50 grand.
No, we're saying you could 10 million.
So if you rob a bank for 10 million, you can literally go somewhere and sit and they can never find. Like you don't have to use your name for anything. I can literally go somewhere and pay for everything in absolute cash and just stay low. And if the person who saw me when I paid them in cash doesn't know that I'm a fugitive, then no one else will ever see me again because I'm gonna be in my house and I can buy everything with cash. I can get my groceries delivered. I don't need to talk to people, but people I meet that don't know me. I grow some new facial hair and not look like that person anymore. I can literally go to the bar, hang out with people, and live a day-to-day life. And nobody would never know to call the police on me, bro.
Okay.
And how many times you think someone would actually see me if I would rob the bank in California and went to Wisconsin?
Why you gotta rob in my home state? Why don't you rob out of your state? You're fucking in the richest county in the world.
So what?
Rob the Federal Reserve.
Look, wherever I rob it from, if I go to a state semi across the country, they ain't looking for me.
All right. Okay, so what would you request in a hostage situation, though?
Depends on I don't know what the request in the hostage situation, like, because what you really request, like, I want to request, let me get out of here free. They ain't going to give me that.
That's not that, exactly. Would you do, like, airheads and do some goofy shit?
I would just, I don't understand why people take hostages unless you're just planning on going out in the blaze of glory. You ain't getting away, so it's over. So just either give up or start killing people, but sitting there for multiple hours makes absolutely no sense to me. Like it's either you were going to kill people or you were just going to go out and give up. Why hold people in fear for 6 hours while you think on that? You should have had that decision made before you came up in here.
Mike, you're a fucking professional here, okay? You're robbing a bank for $10 million. You know that you need leverage, so you have a couple hostages, but you're waiting it out. You're robbing the bank, and you have these guys for leverage. All of a sudden, when your escape plan hasn't quite formulated yet, you have your plan B. Hey, if we got to utilize these hostages, these 3, 6, 8 people that we have here, here's plan B.
Utilize them in which way? Let me see. What's your plan?
I'm not saying I got a plan.
Once the police get there, ain't no more getting away, so just give up.
See, that's why you'd be a terrible criminal, Mike.
Yeah.
You always have to plan it all the way through. All the way through.
Look, once the police get there, them hostages ain't going to help you avoid going to jail. Sorry. Not going to happen.
Right, but they could get you out safe if you had a good escape plan. They could be body armor.
You know how else you can get out safe?
By not doing it in the first place.
When they call, say, I'm coming out with my hands up, do not shoot, because that's all it's going to end up. You're either going to jail or you're going to end up shot. Those are your options once they catch you. The point is to get out of the bank before they get there. Now you don't need hostages, just run. Get away. That's it.
Okay, how about this scenario? We have the hostages in the bank. Now we're robbing it together, apparently. So we have the hostages in the bank, and as we are going to escape, we have our Swan Song bodies carry out the hostage negotiation for 6 hours. We're in Cancun, baby. We gone.
Yes, if that was real life, everybody would do that and have all types of crazy
Everybody
stuff
would not do that because,
one.
first of all, everybody's not that smart. Second of all, not everybody's a criminal. Third of all, not many people will put all those things together.
No. I ain't say it would be all criminal. I said crazy stuff in this world. Everybody could just go get a fake body.
Oh, yeah.
like, we have all types of stuff going on.
Well, you already can get fake robot people, but those aren't used for hostage situations. I mean, their mouths are always scared, but... Did I tell you that I think my postal service lady who delivers the mail, I think she's doing like Instacart on the side?
Why you say that?
Because, dude, I was outside last week getting elevated, and I saw my lady. I know her face, and I was outside watching. She went up and down my side street 7 times in 15 minutes. It's either that or she's a drug dealer. And if she's a drug dealer, I'm like, hook a brother up, dude.
Hey, look,
What you got?
She would not be delivering Instacart, going to a store, picking up groceries, and coming back down your street 7 times, bro. So I'm gonna tell you that it ain't Instacart. Now she could be delivering food.
Maybe.
Could be like Grubhub or something. Yeah.
I'm like, that just doesn't seem conducive to a successful, streamlined route.
Yeah, no.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, you know
shout out to USPS for delivering all these, for having to deliver all these COVID tests that they're about to have to start delivering. Because that's going to be they're all coming through the USPS because, you know, he ain't paying for nothing more expensive than that. But, hey, shout out Biden for giving everybody in the world free COVID tests.
Good for him, or whoever put that thing together decided that was a good idea.
Did you order yours?
No, I'm reading articles about it because I've heard there's like, okay, be sure you know what you're getting. Be sure you know how to use it. I'm like, oh my God, dude. This is just bananas. My kids' schools, like, they give them out too. So if I want them, I can just go get one.
Oh, yeah, you live in Cali. I forgot. Y'all rich out there, man. Ain't nobody just giving them out in Virginia, buddy.
No, they're not really giving them out. Like, you kind of
But you can buy them at the 7-Eleven, so. Yeah. I mean, if you want one, like.
Ridiculous.
It's not a hard thing to find.
You know what else isn't a hard thing to find, Mike? Our Spotify playlist of the week. This week, it's Common and the Pretenders.
Bow, 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 bow. I see you on this Common theme this week.
Just trying to close the loop, my friend.
There you go, baby.
All right. Well, on that note, be sure to follow us on Instagram. We are at Black Irish Pod. Mike is at Black Irish 213, and I'm at Brendallis7. Follow us on YouTube. Give us a share. Give us a like. Give us a share.
Show us some love.
Give us a rating. Do any one of a myriad of options to show us some love. All right? Because we love you, and we're going to keep coming, and Mike's going to go kill the raccoon upstairs. Love y'all.
No, that's Mags.
You tell Mags to leave that raccoon alone. Y'all. We're all going to love each other this week. And I love you, Mike.
There you go, man. Love you too, bro.
Peace.
Peace.